Hello guys, welcome to another week of Ralph Johnson Photography. If you went and watched my video from last week, you'll know that we're in the middle of a 4-part series right now. If you haven't watched it, I'm going to go ahead and put the first part right up here. Go ahead, I'll wait for you to click on it. If you haven't clicked on it by now, too late. That's the first part, it's about ISO. The second part that I'm going to be doing is about aperture. So we're going to go ahead and get into that right now. And so people are asking, well, what is aperture? Well, I decided to look exactly to find out the textbook definition of aperture, because I can give you mine and I will give you my definition of it also. But the textbook definition that I found on Google is, in photography, aperture is the unit of measurement that defines the size of an opening in the lens that can be adjusted to control the amount of light reaching the film or digital sensor. The size of the aperture is measured in f-stop. Well, then you're asking, what is f-stop? Well, f-stop is actually focal stop, and this is the measurement of the aperture setting in the camera lens. F-stop settings determine how much light is allowed to enter the lens and pass through the CMOS sensor in this case, because I'm using a digital camera. In film cases, it's the film, sensor behind that, the actual exposure for the film. Okay, pretty much what this is though is that inside every lens there's little, and this isn't a good example to show you, but inside every lens there's like little things that close in to make this smaller. You see how big that is right now? Actually, the lens itself is that big, and then inside here there's little things that just go ahead and let it close in more to where it lets less light in. Now the bigger the number, the smaller the opening is, which means that all them little, they call them blades, are really tied in together. Like for example, if it's at f/22, you'll still see the size on the outside, but on the inside you'll actually see just these blades in a little hole like that. But where it's like f/1.8, which this lens can do, this whole circle that you see here for the lens right there on that glass element will be completely open, and you won't see any of them actual blades in there that close the aperture down. And that's how it adjusts the light and stuff like that. And I'm going to show you a quick example here right quick with my camera, and I'm going to do that right now. As you see right now, I'm at an aperture of 2.8 and it's in perfect exposure. But as soon as I adjust the aperture like this, you see it start getting darker and darker and darker and darker until you can't see nothing at all practically. And I mean, I can even go farther if I wanted to, but let's go ahead and bring it back to the right exposure. So there you have the aperture part about it, and if you remember in the first one, the ISO made stuff brighter and the aperture is making stuff darker. On the higher the numbers that you get, it makes it darker. So there's two parts of the exposure triangle. The next one that we're going to talk about is shutter speed, but I also wanted to mention t-stops. And t-stops is mainly used in cinema lenses, and it's an actual exact measurement instead of a mathematical equation like an f-stop is. I just gave you the definition of what an f-stop is, and show you in camera on how it works. When I go to higher numbers, it gets darker, it's closing out more light. So therefore you got to adjust the other stuff accordingly to get the correct exposure. Like for right now, I'm shooting this in a video mode, and I'm shooting at a 60th of a second at f/2.8 at ISO 100 with a variable neutral density filter on it. If I took off the filter, everything would be completely blowed out. And actually that's something that you need to take aware of when you're doing this, because all three pieces of this is part of the exposure triangle. Now if I was taking a photo, I wouldn't have this variable neutral density filter on there at all. I would just go ahead and take that off and then adjust the 3 camera settings that I need to do that. And we're going to be talking about the last one next week. So I'll go ahead and stop this right now. If you have any comments about this video, go ahead and put it in the comment section down below. If you like it, like it. If you don't, well, I'm sorry. But comment, like, subscribe type deal thing. If you want to see other stuff that I do, I have photo news that I do every Tuesday, which is off to the side, and then I have the other one that I do for my Friday videos, which is also off to the side. So until next time, this is Ralph Johnson saying peace out. Bye.